The rain hammered against the diner windows like 1,000 tiny fists, each drop carrying the weight of November's bitter cold. Sarah pressed her forehead against the glass, watching the world blur into streams of gray and gold, wondering if anyone out there felt as invisible as she did. 23 years old, 2 jobs, and still she couldn't afford the surgery her mother needed. The city had a way of swallowing people whole, and tonight, she felt herself disappearing. The fluorescent lights of Mel's diner flickered overhead, casting shadows across the cracked vinyl booths. Sarah had been waitressing here for 3 years, her feet memorizing every groove in the checkerboard floor, her hands moving on autopilot as she refilled coffee cups and delivered plates of meatloaf to strangers who rarely looked up from their phones. "Order up." Mel's gruff voice cut through her thoughts. Sarah grabbed the plates, balancing them expertly along her arm. Table 7. A woman sat alone in the corner booth, her clothes soaked through, mascara running down her cheeks in dark rivers. She looked about 40, with the kind of exhaustion that lived in the bones rather than just the eyes. "Here you go," Sarah said softly, setting down the grilled cheese and tomato soup. "Can I get you anything else?" The woman looked up, startled, as if she hadn't expected kindness. "I'm sorry, I don't actually have enough money for this." Her voice cracked. "I just came in to get warm. I can leave." Sarah glanced toward the register where Mel was counting bills. She thought about her own bank account, the one with $47 until Friday, the one that made her choose between groceries and gas every week. She thought about her mother in that hospital bed, about how every penny counted. Then she thought about the woman's trembling hands. "Don't worry about it," Sarah heard herself say. "It's on the house tonight." The woman's eyes filled with fresh tears. "I can't, you don't understand. I lost my job 2 weeks ago. My car broke down on the highway. My phone's dead. I haven't eaten in 2 days." The words tumbled out like a confession. "I was actually on my way to. I was going to the bridge tonight. I was going to." "Stop," Sarah said, sliding into the booth across from her. The dinner rush had ended, and the diner held only a handful of late-night stragglers. "You're going to eat this soup. Then we're going to figure things out. What's your name?" "Michelle." "I'm Sarah. And Michelle, I need you to hear me. Whatever you're going through, it's not the end. I know it feels like it, but it's not." Michelle laughed bitterly. "You don't know that. You don't know me." "You're right. I don't. But I know what it's like to feel invisible. I know what it's like to work until your body aches and still not have enough. I know what it's like to be scared." Sarah paused. "My mom needs heart surgery. $35,000. I've been saving for 2 years and I'm not even halfway there. Some days I look at that number and I want to give up. But then I think about the small things. The sunrise. The way coffee smells. The possibility that tomorrow might be different." Michelle picked up her spoon with shaking hands. "Why are you being nice to me?" "Because someone was nice to me once when I needed it. And maybe that's how the world keeps turning." Sarah left Michelle to eat and returned to her tables, but something had shifted in the air, like the moment before lightning strikes. She felt it in her chest, a strange mixture of fear and hope. An hour later, an older man in an expensive coat approached the register. "Excuse me," he said to Mel. "Who's the waitress who served that woman in the corner booth?" Sarah's stomach dropped. Had Michelle tried to leave without paying? After all, Mel pointed at Sarah. "That's her." "Sarah. Something wrong." The man turned to Sarah, his eyes sharp but not unkind. "I was sitting 2 booths over. I heard what you did. What you said." He pulled out his wallet and laid down $500 bills. "This is for you. And this," he added 5 more, "is for your mother's surgery." Sarah stared at the money, unable to speak. "My name is Robert Chen. 30 years ago, I was homeless in this city. A waitress at a diner, not this one, but one like it, gave me a free meal and $20. She told me that kindness was the only currency that mattered. I never forgot her." He smiled. "I'm a cardiac surgeon at St. Mary's. Have your mother call my office. We'll take care of her." Sarah's vision blurred with tears. I can't accept this. You already did, the moment you chose to help that woman. You just paid it forward before you received it." He handed her his card. "Call me tomorrow." After he left, Sarah returned to Michelle's booth. The woman had finished her meal and was crying softly. "I heard," Michelle whispered. "He gave you all that money because of what you did for me." No, Sarah said, understanding flooding through her like warm light. He gave it to me because of what you allowed me to do for you. You let me be kind. That matters, Michelle. Your life matters. Michelle reached across the table and grabbed Sarah's hands. I'm not going to the bridge tonight. Good. Because I'm going to need your phone number. We're going to get through this together. Tomorrow, we'll find you resources. A job placement center. A shelter if you need one. My friend works in HR at a hotel downtown. You're not alone anymore. The diner door opened, bringing in a gust of cold wind and 3 more customers. Sarah stood up, straightened her apron, and caught her reflection in the window. She looked different somehow. Still tired, still worried, still carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders, but no longer invisible. That night, as Sarah walked to her car through the rain-slicked parking lot, she thought about the chain of kindness that stretched back 30 years to a waitress she'd never meet, forward to a woman whose life had been saved by tomato soup and genuine care, and outward to a future she couldn't yet imagine. She thought about how many times someone had walked past Michelle on that bridge, how many people had looked away, how close the world had come to losing someone precious. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Thank you for tonight. I called my sister. We haven't spoken in 5 years, but she's coming to get me. You saved my life. I'll never forget you, Michelle. Sarah sat in her car and cried. For her mother, for Michelle, for every person who'd ever felt invisible in a city that never stopped moving. But she also cried with gratitude, for the mysterious way the universe sometimes catches you when you're falling, often through the hands of strangers who choose to see you. 3 months later, Sarah's mother successfully underwent surgery. Michelle got a job in her own apartment. And Sarah kept working at Mel's Diner, still refilling coffee cups, still delivering plates of meatloaf, but now understanding that every interaction was a chance to title her story differently, not as a tale of struggle, but as a testament to the extraordinary power of ordinary kindness. The rain still hammered against the windows on cold November nights. But Sarah no longer felt invisible. She had learned that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in grand gestures or wealth, but in the simple choice to see someone else's pain and say, "You matter. Let me help." And in a world that often felt too dark, that choice made all the difference.